Hello from Costa Maya, Mexico, where we visited the Mayan Ruins of Chacchoben. This was the last stop on our Western Caribbean cruise before heading back to Miami. This is the view from our balcony. You can see people already getting off the ship, and you can see the walk down the pier. We booked an excursion for 9:15 in the morning. We found the excursion on Royal Caribbean's shore excursion page. There are many things to do in Costa Maya, from ATVing in the jungle to all sorts of water activities. We were interested in this excursion, visiting the Chacchoben Mayan ruins. The excursion costs $94 for 4 hours. Half that time is spent on the bus getting to and from the ruins, and then we spent about 2 hours exploring the Chacchoben ruins. The tour met right on the pier. Once everyone in the group was gathered together, then it was a couple of minutes walk to the bus. The bus was a comfortable, air-conditioned coach-type bus. The ride is about an hour each way, but the tour guide spoke non-stop the entire way there, discussing the history of the Mayan people and the culture. It was very interesting, and the hour bus ride went by very quickly. By the way, the ride was comfortable and there was a bathroom in the back of the bus. The guide also explained that there was a charge for videoing anything in the park, something about copyright, and so if you have a camera that takes video, you need to buy a special permit for a nominal fee. It was around $3. They didn't bother with cell phones, even though pretty much everyone's cell phone takes video. Didn't make much sense to me, but I paid the couple of dollars, and hopefully it will go to good use. Here's the permit I got to be able to video on the premises. This is our tour guide. He gathered us under a tree to explain what we were about to see. The good tour guides always take you under a tree out of the hot sun.
All right, I like to gather in the shade. If you want to work on your sunburn, it's entirely up to you. Be my guest. If not, we can always make use of the shade.
So this is a temple we're looking at, because it has a raised platform with no rooms, only steps to the top.
Yes, I did say it is a temple. It's easy to figure out why it's a temple. We are in the north side of it, in the north face of it. That face right there is the west face, and then the south face. These three sides of this temple are pretty much identical. We have a flight of steps that go all the way up to the top. So pretty much what it is an elevated platform, right?
The guide went on to explain some very interesting things about this temple.
But what is important about this particular one, known as the radial temple, is that on March 19th, 20th, and 21st, and on September 19th, 20th, and 21st, you can see the sun rise dead center. When you are standing on the west side of the temple, on its west face, facing east, you will see the sun rise dead center. So it's lined up with the stars.
After answering the questions from the group, the guide let us roam a bit and take photographs or video. I had a permit for that. And so we roamed around the structure, and you could see people on all sides taking pictures and admiring the ancient ruins. After about 10 minutes, our group gathered together again and on to our next stop, the Tree of Life.
This tree was considered to be the Tree of Life.
And then on to the next tree, the Love Tree.
Local people like to joke about this and call this the Love Tree.
And then on to another tree, the Tourist Tree.
Okay, this is another tree that the local people joke about. They call this the tourist tree. Any idea why they call this the tourist tree?
Yes, there are a lot of trees here. Aside from the trees, we saw monkeys. We were, after all, in the jungle. We wandered a bit more in the jungle, looking at interesting trees and interesting roots. And we climbed a large set of steps. Not so easy going up. And then we were in front of another temple. Our guide explained to us how the corners of the temple were lined up with the sun to measure its movements during a calendar year.
This is the southern corner, the winter solstice. The northern corner is the summer solstice. This is a solar marker. It measures the movement of the sun.
We were free to roam around and explore. Here are some more steps. These are big steps. I always imagined Mayan people short. These steps are for giants. The tour guide was very good. He gave us lots of information as we walked amongst the ruins, and then as we walked through the jungle, he explained to us how they believe the Mayans constructed their homes.
And the big ones are promising, like this one here, right? But I want you to take a look in there. You see that open space? You can clearly see that that was man-made, right? Mm-hmm. The archaeologists only left that so that to verify, yes.
We walked some more, and some more, and walked some more. It didn't seem like there was a lot of archaeology being done here, and when I asked the guide about it, he said they just don't have the money. Here you can see the remains of some sort of structure, probably someone's home almost 2,000 years ago. There are lots of ruins here believed to be living spaces. You can see the steps remain and some parts of the walls, but most of these homes have caved in on themselves. Here is another example of someone's house. We kept walking through the jungle, admiring the trees and the roots and the leaves, and it was a very nice walk. And then we stopped in front of another large structure. Actually, this was the back side of the first structure we saw. So really, we went around in one big circle.
The sun is over there.
The back of where we started, right? We're right back where we started, but we're on the back side. That's correct. And I only mentioned 3 sides, right? I didn't mention the 4th side. Well, that is because this is the 4th side. At a long and narrow room. The room is divided by 2 rectangular columns, giving us 3 doorways. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Above the room, we have a roof comb, which is part of the decoration, but it is in the form of 3 rectangular columns. Can you?
After the guide explained more about the structure, we were able to explore on our own, along with some of the monkeys of the jungle. You're allowed to climb, touch, take pictures, anything you want. The area is not roped off anywhere, which surprised me a little bit, since it has not been fully excavated or studied, and with so many tourists coming to the site, it will deteriorate over time. Maybe then they will rope it off, but in the meantime, you are free to explore and touch as you wish. So we explored and watched the monkeys jump from tree to tree. And then it was time to leave Chacchoben. We still had quite a bit of walking to get back to the bus, and we had a final glimpse of the steps we had climbed in the beginning of the walk. The entire time we spent in the area was about 2 hours, and then it was time to get back on the bus, around an hour bus ride back to the port. On the way to the ruins earlier, the tour guide spoke the entire bus ride. On the way back, he was quiet. Everyone was quiet. I think we were all tired. And soon we were back at the port. The port is actually very nice, obviously catering to all the tourists that come through that port. There are nice fountains, places to buy tours if you didn't buy your tour on the ship, places to eat, places to drink, more places to drink. I never saw so many places to drink as I did on this cruise. Lots of choices here. And more choices. And more choices. We came across a small area with colorful birds and flamingos, also set up specifically as a tourist thing to do. Here's the entrance. You can see there are walking paths with bridges and feeding areas, a nice thing to do while you're at the port. This place is called Aviarius, probably because it is stocked with a lot of birds. And then we came across a chocolate factory, again something set up for tourists to do. There was also a pool area. So if you didn't buy an excursion, this is still a nice port to walk around, and there are nice things to do right at the port, right where the ship is docked. And of course, if you still want to book an excursion, there are last-minute tours you can book right here at the port. We're still in the port area. Here is a dolphin discovery experience. You can swim with the dolphins here. Again, we're right at the port, right where the ship is docked. It is surprising how many things there are to do right in front of the ship. It's a compact area jam-packed with things for tourists to occupy their time and money. And here above the dolphin swim area you can see the Aviarius bridges. And of course there are shops. No tourist area is without shops. It's hard to get lost here, but just in case, there's a sign pointing you back to the ship. We walked around the port a bit more. It's really nicely planned and pleasant to walk around. And after a bit of walking around, we decided it was time to get back to the ship. We walked past the checkpoint. You need to show your ship ID to pass through. And here you can see the water. It is crystal clear. There were two ships parked at the end of the pier. Ours is the one on the left, Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. From this angle you can see how big the ship is. Here's one last look at Costa Maya from our balcony. Just beautiful, so peaceful looking. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please subscribe. I really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Bye!